What does the acronym API stand for in software development? Application Programming Interface. Which revolutionary gaming console was the first to use CD-ROM instead of cartridges, changing game storage forever? Sony PlayStation. Which breakthrough medical imaging technology allows doctors to see real-time 3D images of the heart and other organs? Ultrasound 4D. What revolutionary material, used in spacecraft heat shields, can withstand temperatures over 2,500 degrees Celsius and was inspired by 19th century candle wicks? Carbon-carbon composite. Which controversial 20th century artist secretly painted over his own abstract works to create new paintings when his style fell out of favor? Willem de Kooning. What chemical compound gives wasabi its distinctive pungent heat, which activates the same nasal receptors as mustard gas? Allyl isothiocyanate. Which bird species is known to use tools, such as twigs or cactus spines, to extract insects from tree bark, one of the few animals capable of tool modification? New Caledonian crow. What mysterious cosmic event occurs when a massive star collapses, producing a burst of energy so powerful it can outshine an entire galaxy for seconds? Gamma-ray burst. Which civilization built the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient bronze device considered the world's first analog computer for predicting astronomical positions? Ancient Greeks. What rare phenomenon causes perfectly circular ice disks up to 50 feet wide to spin slowly in rivers, baffling scientists for decades? Thermal eddies. What rare phenomenon causes some people to involuntarily laugh or cry without emotional stimulus, often occurring after brain injuries? Pseudobulbar effect. Which infamous 19th century ship was dubbed the most cursed vessel in maritime history, after multiple disasters including collisions, mutinies, and cannibalism? The SS Arong Medan. What term describes when an AI system makes decisions based on patterns in data that humans can't easily explain? The black box problem. Which groundbreaking medical procedure, first successfully performed in 1954, involves transplanting an organ between genetically identical individuals? Isograft transplantation. What is the only river in the world that crosses the equator twice? Congo. Which athlete won 4 Olympic gold medals in 1936 while battling racial discrimination, later becoming a global symbol against Nazi ideology? Jesse Owens. Which legendary director pioneered the bullet time visual effect in 1999, revolutionizing action cinema with 360-degree frozen motion sequences? The Wachowskis. Which legendary band's final studio album featured a prism design on the cover and became one of the best-selling albums of all time? Pink Floyd. What revolutionary 2007 device eliminated physical keyboards and popularized capacitive touchscreens, fundamentally changing mobile computing? iPhone. Which European capital city is built on 14 islands and is often referred to as the Venice of the North? Stockholm. In mathematics, what is the name of the sequence where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, often starting with 0 and 1? Fibonacci sequence. Which planet in our solar system has the largest number of moons? Saturn. In economics, what term describes a period of prolonged economic downturn, typically characterized by high unemployment and low production? Depression. Which famous explorer is credited with leading the first expedition to successfully circumnavigate the globe, even though he died during the journey? Ferdinand Magellan. Which legendary Greek hero completed 12 nearly impossible labors, including slaying the Nemean lion and capturing Cerberus? Heracles. Which 1972 film directed by Francis Ford Coppola is often cited as one of the greatest movies ever made? The Godfather. What is the biological term for animals that regulate their body temperature internally, such as birds and mammals? Endotherms. Which 20th century artist is known for pioneering abstract expressionism and developed the drip painting technique? Jackson Pollock. Which German philosopher wrote Critique of Pure Reason and laid the foundations for much of modern Western philosophy? Immanuel Kant. What is the name of the closest galaxy to the Milky Way, which is on a collision course with it over the next few billion years? Andromeda. Which country was formerly known as Siam until it officially changed its name in 1939? Thailand. Which famous speech begins with the words 7 years ago? Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Which chemical element is represented by the symbol W and is known for having one of the highest melting points? Tungsten. Which Shakespearean play features the characters Rosencrantz and Guildenstern? Hamlet. Which ancient structure was originally built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu and remains the only surviving wonder of the ancient world? Great Pyramid of Giza. What Italian city is home to the Uffizi Gallery and is considered the birthplace of the Renaissance? Florence. In Greek mythology, who is the god of the underworld and husband of Persephone? Hades. Which language has the most native speakers in the world? Mandarin Chinese. Which influential psychological theory introduced by Sigmund Freud involves the ID, ego, and superego? Psychoanalytic theory. Which U.S. state is the only one composed entirely of islands? Hawaii. What is the name of the long conflict between England and France that lasted from 1337 to 1453? The 100 Years' War. Which part of the brain is primarily responsible for regulating balance and coordination? Cerebellum. Which Roman emperor famously fiddled while Rome burned, though historically debated? Nero. What is the name of the device used to measure atmospheric pressure? Barometer. Which famous battle in 1066 led to the Norman conquest of England? Battle of Hastings. Which naturalist developed the theory of evolution by natural selection after his voyage on the HMS Beagle? Charles Darwin. Which famous structure in India was built as a mausoleum by Emperor Shah Jahan for his wife Mumtaz Mahal? Taj Mahal. In computing, what does the acronym URL stand for? Uniform Resource Locator. What is the name of the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy? Photosynthesis. Which architectural wonder was constructed during the reign of Emperor Qin Shi Huang and stretches over 13,000 miles? Great Wall of China.
How many correct answers did you get? Leave us a comment with your number of correct answers.